Probably that aren't as long. That we can do while we're waiting for, like, when we get tired of it or something. Either way, it's probably not going to be that long of a stream today. I'm sort of late anyways. Where are you, babe?
At my generator.
Oh. Yeah, right now she's just harvesting in our cobblestone generator. Yeah. Y'all know how that goes. What should I do while you're getting all that, babe?
I have no clue. You can, see if we have any villagers that are still alive in our village over there. And if they are, trap them in their houses or something so they don't get murdered.
Yeah, because we've recently had an increase in zombie villagers lately, so we gotta make sure if they're even still alive. If not, we'll have to kidnap them from another village. And that's a whole nother issue because the only other villages we know of are across the ocean.
See, actually, the desert village isn't that far, and it would be relatively easy to get the villagers from there because it's the iron farm's built on the ocean anyways. And we only need 2 of them. Once we get 2 of them over there, we can breed those 2 and make the necessary ones that we need.
Yeah, I don't even think we have any left in here. This village is pretty barren. Village is whole ass abandoned. Actually, I haven't seen a villager in this village in forever.
That's what I thought.
About it, with how much I've been passing by it. Yeah, there's no villager here.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I figured. Luckily, we have some, villagers over in the, desert village.
Right. Okay. And they're pretty close to the water, too, so it should be relatively easy to get
Oh,
them.
they're right there on the water. You just throw a boat down at their feet, and then they auto end up in the boat, and then you can, row the boat across the land to the water. Super easy.
This is a weird kidnapping tactic. Get in the fucking boat! Get in the boat! Get in the boat!
Pretty much.
Get in the fucking boat! Get in the fucking boat or I'm gonna blow your head out!
No, I must have jumped. I don't know what happened, but I got hurt.
I'm gonna blow your freaking head off if you don't get in the freaking boat!
I still don't have enough cobblestone, but I can do a little bit more for now.
Thing is, if we get a bunch of villagers, does that make our place a village? Does that mean we're more susceptible to villager raids?
No,
Pillager
because
raids?
no, that's one of the reasons why I put it on the ocean and stuff like that.
So what if pillagers try to come out to the ocean?
They do sometimes, but we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I have some cobblestone. I have like a full stack and like 45. You want me to just fill in these holes? What do you want me to do?
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, is filling in these holes.
Do I fill them in with cobblestone?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a specific reason for the dirt, and that's just to keep, since the cobblestone looks so much like itself, it's just to kind of, once I'm building, to keep an eye on, where everything is. It's the center of the platform, and then there'll be diagonal blocks going out from it to help keep coordinates of where I'm putting shit. It just makes it easier.
Okay.
And it's nighttime.
You gotta be kidding me. I like look away for 1 second trying to eat my pasta.
I didn't bring any beds for over here either.
I didn't, yeah.
But I did bring torches to light it up so we don't have to worry about a bunch of mobs trying to eat our faces.
Right. Oh shit. I really think you should start watching Hell of a Boss. I think you'd like it.
I'll pass. Thanks though.
Babe, why don't you think you'd like it?
Because I didn't really like the one episode that you made me watch.
It was a pilot
It's
episode. It
just-
has nothing to do with like their actual episode.
The
actual episodes
it's
have
just
substance.
not my thing.
It sounds like your thing.
No.
Mhm.
You obviously don't know me very well.
It's funny. It's based off of a dark topic when it comes to like demons and stuff like that. I know that's something you like.
No.
Why not?
It's not something I like.
How is it not?
It's just not.
I see. So you like it when I have horns on my head, but you don't like it when there's other demons around.
You're different, okay? I like you as you. So when you do things like that, that's different.
Mhm. So I'm acceptable as a demon, but no cartoon characters are.
That's not what I said either. It's just not my form of entertainment, okay?
Why not? What is your form of entertainment then?
Don't
Enlighten me.
know. I don't really know how to explain it, okay?
Enlighten me.
Ow. Frickin'. Round.
Can you enlighten me? This is a topic, babe.
No.
I just want to cause conversation. Come on.
No.
Why?
Because I don't know how to explain it. I already said this.
How do you not know how to explain the type of entertainment you're into? Can't you give me examples?
No.
Babe, we have to come up with some
I'm not
type of
into
topic.
any, like, single form or subject of entertainment, okay? It's just random stuff. Some things I like, some things I don't.
And you don't like cartoons?
Okay? I watch cartoons all the time. They're just normally children's cartoons.
But what about, so you don't like adult cartoons?
Not normally. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mm.
5, 6.
I guess that is a reason why you don't like Hell of a Boss.
I don't know. Never really liked adult humor cartoons. Just I don't find them entertaining. I find them more annoying than anything.
Which I find weird because you're a person that likes to do a lot of adult jokes. You're a person that's full of adult humor.
Yeah. So
Doesn't make sense to me.
doesn't need to make sense, okay?
Why can't it? I mean, why can't it? I don't know. I like adult cartoons. Depending on which ones are entertaining. I didn't really care for Family Guy. I feel like that show is mainly good for only its shorts and certain clips.
See, I've seen all of Family Guy, and while it did provide mindless entertainment, it was still not my thing.
Mm-hmm. But only reason why I like Hell of a Boss is because one, it's an animation that was made, started out by one person's idea, and they didn't need a company to make it come to reality. They just took a team of animators and that worked together, and like a bunch of YouTube like voice act when they got like professional voice actors to back them up on the project.
Mhm.
And you know, that's what makes it a good show is, well, I mean, that's not just all that makes it. I'm not going to downsize their work because they put a lot of work and heart into the show.
Mhm.
Well, other animation studios, even though, you know, they'd put work in it, they're honestly just looking for, you know, what's cost effective. While these people, they're not looking at the cost that it makes to make it this animation. They're putting so much heart into it that it makes it really good, the animation, for being what it is. It's a YouTube show, and you know, you don't think YouTube shows would have that high of a budget, but these people don't look at that budget. They look at what they want to do to make it look better. They keep, and every episode you just see that animation constantly improving. So that's one reason why I like it. It's basically
Yeah.
it's basically what I want, what I've always dreamt of doing. It's basically proof that something like that is attainable. To become big after making a idea, a story of some random characters without having to put money into a company in order to make it a reality. And two, another reason why I like it is because it has a lot of substance. And on the surface, it looks like it's like a Family Guy show, where it's just a bunch of nonsense and full of, you know, dark or inappropriate humor. But basically, all these characters in the show have a lot of underlying substance, a lot of issues with them, why they're in hell, and all that type of stuff. So it's interesting to understand why these characters are the way they are. And, you know, every episode just keeps slowly but surely, you know, showing us exactly what these characters, who these characters are, rather than, you know, just keeping it as, you know, each of these characters are jokes. They each play a part, and they'll keep on playing that part, and we won't get any understanding of why they play that part. That's only the reason why I like the show. Well, the two of the reasons why I like the show. It's because the animators put a lot of work into it without needing a company to back them up. And the characters, it's a show that's funny, but also has substance. And that's something I always look for in a show. Instead of it being just a cash grab. A quick cash grab. You're not even listening to me, are you?
I am.
You should probably go to sleep, babe.
I was waiting for you to get over here to go to sleep. While I was preparing some of the other stuff that we need for what we are doing, since it was night and I couldn't.
What shows do you like then?
I don't watch a lot of shows unless it's anime, and then I just kind of watch whatever.
Just whatever when it comes to anime? I mean, I get
Pretty
that.
much.
I widen my horizons significantly with anime. But, you know, I don't know. I just like, I'm a person that doesn't really care for live action stuff unless it pertains to something I know. Like, for instance, like Marvel shows or, you know, DC shows. I love the DC shows, like Gotham. Gotham's like one of my favorite live action
I
shows
did like
to watch.
Gotham.
Exactly. Because it was
I
mainly
watched
a story.
Gotham, The Arrow, The Flash, a lot of them. I didn't finish most of them though because I just after like the what sixth or seventh season of The Arrow and it basically not even being The Arrow anymore, I just got really bored and annoyed.
Really. So my issue with a lot of them was that fact that I was never able to finish them when I was in a certain area, and then I like it doesn't say it never saved where I left off, so
Mhm.
I can't. I'm too lazy to have to go back and try to figure out. Oh, where did I leave off? Same
Mhm.
thing with Lucifer. I can't figure it out where I left off because I'm like constantly watching it on someone else's Netflix or something like that, and I'm like, where the hell did I leave off? Where did I end this? It becomes difficult.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I like animation a lot more than live action because you get to do so much more with it, and I like to see what different people do with what they
Yeah.
have. Because you can make an animated character do anything you want them to do.
Mhm.
They can do a freaking backflip or put their leg behind their head, no problem. Um, or basic SpongeBob is an example of you can make animation do whatever the heck you want. It could be the most grotesque thing possible, and you can make a cartoon character do it. And that's also another reason why I think adult animation shines is the fact that you can make inappropriate jokes while making these characters do these grotesque things or
Mhm.
weird things. What the frick? I'm gonna kill you. Where are you? There you are. And it kind of like adds another form of like expression, and it's more like a body expression. Because if anything, when you see like, because you're limited with live actors, right? You can't. Sometimes you just can't get the right emotions across when it comes to live actors. Sure, they do a
Mhm.
good job, but you can make, but like with exaggerated with emotions and animation, you can always just make it, more pronounced. The type of emotions you're trying to get across, just by the way something is moving. Like honestly, you probably wouldn't need a lot of words in an animation with the amount of expressions that you can put onto an animated character's face.
Yeah. There are
And then
plenty of silent animated movies out there.
exactly, like for instance, like ooh, a good one. That's very fairly recent. So the guy that made Samurai Jack made the one about the caveman. I can't remember what the one's called. Have you seen that one around, babe?
Mm-mm.
Or like social media and stuff.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
even know what you're talking about, to be honest with you.
so there
I didn't
is
hear you.
there is a caveman show. Like it's an animated show, and it's made by the guy that made Samurai Jack. And basically,
Mhm.
the whole show there's no words. It's just nothing but action and
How?
expressions of emotion
Mm.
and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty good show from what I hear. I want to watch it eventually. I just haven't had the time, or I have the time and I just like watch something else. But that's a good example of an animated show that is able to tell a story with just expressions.
Mhm.
I think it's really really cool, and I like it. And then like with words, voice actors, and I think that voice actors don't get enough credit. Like they just have to do voices, but basically they kind of take those characters and put them to heart. They get in character in the studio, and some of them actually cry. They actually break down. It's amazing how much in character these actors can get. One of my favorite voice actors is Ray Chase. He voice acts some Fire Emblem characters that I know of, and a Final Fantasy character named Noctis, who is a prince in Final Fantasy 15. He likes to get in character a lot, and a lot of people can attest that his voice is pretty well known now as being a really good voice for his roles that he plays as like Roy in Smash Bros. If you hear like Roy scream whenever he gets star KO'd, it's like one of the best screams in the Smash Bros. Voice things because he sounds like he's in so much pain. And then like Ray Chase also does like just really cool guy, you know. Another good voice actor that's really well known is Patrick Seiss. He is known for being a producer for voice acting, or at least I don't know if that's right, but he's a really good producer for the voice acting scene, and he voices a lot of voices in anime, video games, and all that stuff. I think I've actually talked to you about him, babe, because he plays a lot of animes that you've watched. I think he actually plays as Loxus in Fairy Tail and stuff like that. So like, and his voice is just very well known. He's a really great voice actor. He plays a lot of roles. I don't know, I just love the animation scene. I can watch any animated thing as long as it has substance in it. You're not even listening to me.
Yes, I am.
But you're not talking to me. You're not making conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm more concentrated on listening to you than I am adding something when I know nothing about the subject.
Okay, let's talk about a subject you do know about. What's a subject you know about that you want to add to the conversation?
Nothing really, to be honest. I have no clue.
Oh my god, Beeb.
I'm sorry, I'm useless.
No, you're not useless. I just want a conversation. And, you know, since I don't have, like, a lot of viewers right now, you're the only conversation I can have.
I'm sorry. I guess you could say today my intellectual prowess is, like, at 0, okay?
Never.
My mind is exhausted.
Impossible. How dare you. How can your intellectual prowess be at a low?
It just is.
You have so much of it. You're nothing but an intellectual, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You're so smart. Trying to think of another topic, because you don't know anything about animation, so I can't really talk about that without me just talking to myself.
I'm enjoying listening to you.
Well, other people probably would too, but you know, a two-way conversation, it kind of just feels like I'm doing nothing but talking to myself.
But you're not, because I'm listening.
But I'm also getting no reaction.
I'm sorry that you can't see my facial expressions as I, yeah,
yeah. I don't know. We can talk about other stuff, baby. I don't want you to be left out of the conversation. Especially if it's something you don't understand. I want it to be something you're interested in listening to.
Well, I mean, right now, the only thing I'm concentrating on is this build because it does involve counting and stuff like that, and because I am like, bleh, the counting becomes hard.
Weren't you a streamer at one point? How did you stream?
I actually had lots of energy back then because I consumed the copious amounts of Mountain Dew and Doritos. Like your stereotypical fat gamer person who sits at home and does nothing but game.
I guess. Hmm. What's a talk about that you'd be interested in? I just realized how much of our interests do align, or if how much interests don't align with us.
Mm.
What do you mean you don't know?
Mm.
Okay, out of the stuff I've been talking about, none of it you've been interested in, correct?
I'm interested. I just don't know anything about it normally.
Okay, but like, I mean, it's like, but like, what is it that you do know about that I don't know about?
I don't know. Babe, you still aren't getting this. My brain isn't functioning right now. So all of these questions you're asking me, basically you're going in one ear and out the other. Like, I can't form a coherent answer for you.
Hmm,
I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful or anything. I'm just trying to be honest.
I see.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't even barely count. I had to count those blocks like 4 times. You have to, if you want an answer to a question, you have to give me more substance to the question.
In order for me to make questions, I need more substance for answers. I mean,
They can't be vague, okay? I can't do vague. I hate vague questions to
I
begin
feel
with,
like
and it's even worse when my brain's
I
not
feel
functioning right.
I feel like my questions are actually very specific towards you though. It's about
But
you,
they
and I
are
feel like you,
vague
and I
in
feel
general.
and I feel like you as a person is a very central topic. I'm asking about you. You are the topic.
The questions are vague in their own special sense, okay? It's ask me a question about something specific and I can give you a specific answer.
But how
Ask
can
me a
I?
question
But how can
that's
I get?
extremely vague and I'm going to give you a vague as fuck answer.
Okay, but how? But how am I supposed to give a specific answer when I am trying to figure out that specific thing about you when I'm asking this question? When I'm asking these questions,
I don't stop.
I need specifics in order to ask specific questions because
Or
there
you can
because
just think of
surprise
something you want to know and
because
ask
babe
me the question
surprisingly
specifically to
enough,
find out said answer.
but I don't know what I want to know. If I don't know what I want to know, then how am I
Then
like
don't
what
ask
kind of
me
questions am I
questions.
supposed to do? How
Stop
am I
beating up my platform.
how am I supposed to know what I want to know? I need to know what I want to know in order to be able to ask coherent, specific questions. And asking vague questions is how you get to know the specific questions because certain vague questions, depending on your answer, gives me specific topics to talk about. And then it starts
I love
slowly
you.
getting more and more specific. I love you.
Stop it.
Why?
You are giving me a headache.
I'm sorry? I'll stop talking?
No, it's not you talking. It is you just logicking everything. I can't. I just can't right now. You don't even understand. Like you were tired earlier. You got a Red Bull, right?
I didn't get a
I
Red
have
Bull.
had zero
I got a
today.
tangerine monster.
Okay, either way, you got something caffeinated to make your brain power go, right?
I mean, my
I have
brain is
had
always going.
zero caffeine today.
But my brain is always going. I don't need caffeine for that.
I do. I am literally I've relied on caffeine for 5+ years my daily intake of caffeine may have drastically dropped compared to what it used to be,
Hmm.
but I still require at least 3 cups of coffee a day to function properly, and I have had zero.
Then get some coffee, babe.
I can't. We have no milk.
Um,
I cannot drink coffee without milk in it or creamer, and we don't have any creamer either.
put cheese in it. I'm kidding. Put
Blech.
cheese in your coffee. Make sure it melts and marinates in there for a little bit. Then you won't even tell that it's
That's just
cheese.
disgusting. Be quiet. Did you just.
You're telling me to be
No,
quiet
you're gonna
so you
make
don't
me.
want me to talk?
You're gonna make me barf.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be funny.
Just the thought of that made me want to barf. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I can't talk anymore because you told me to shut up.
Oh my god, it's not that. Quit. Why?
I don't know. My mind's always going, even when I'm tired. It's like literally while I was just when I was freaking taking a nap, or like I was trying to take a nap, I was literally thinking about work the whole time. So I was literally stressed out while I was sleeping.
You're special.
I was stressed out. I was stressed sleeping. I was stressed out as hell. Hey babe, you want to pick up that fishing rod? Babe,
Hold on.
what are you doing?
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Okay, repeat question.
Can you pick up that fishing rod for me?
No.
Why?
What fishing rod? Why?
This one, enchanted one right here.
Why?
Because I don't have room in my inventory.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Can you also pick up that enchanted book?
Stop fishing if you don't have room in your inventory.
Why can't you just love me for who I am?
Why can't you just stop pushing my brain past its limits?
I do that. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Why did you just use that brushing rod? Now its durability is going to be real low.
Okay. Why don't you entertain yourself with harvesting a crap ton of cobblestone for me?
Because I'm trying to have a conversation.
You can have a conversation while standing there harvesting cobblestone mindlessly, okay?
Oh, I see. You just want me to get dumb.
But my god, I'm so done with you today. I'm just done with you.
Why? What am I doing? I am not doing anything wrong.
I'm just done with you, okay?
Why? Why are you done with me? That's mean. How could you say such a horrible thing to me? That you're done with me? It's awful.
Because apparently I'm a terrible person.
You aren't, though. That's the thing. Alright, I'll mindlessly mine this cobblestone for you, because I will now become dumb.
I'm glad you think that the work I give you is just made for stupid people, because it was the work that I was doing.
Babe, it's a joke. It's a joke. Is anyone out there? Can you give me a topic? Intelligent conversation?
Good luck with that.
I see how it is.
I'm going to sit here and shear my sheep as they regrow their wool. I think that needs to be my next project is freaking A sheep shearer.
Sheep shearer?
Automatic wool farm.
Hmm. Interesting topic. What can I do? I can only think about animation now.
So keep talking about it.
Hmm. So, what are some animated shows that you've watched that you liked that aren't
Um,
anime, like cartoons?
um, I really haven't.
You haven't?
No,
Can't even say something like Fairly Odd Parents or something?
no,
Why not?
as I didn't really watch that.
What did you watch as a kid?
I watched a bunch of stupid bullshit that I didn't like because I had no other choice because I had an older sibling who was always in charge of the television.
Hmm.
Or I sat in my bedroom like a little loner girl and read books all day.
Hmm. And there's no animated things that you've watched recently at all?
Not anything other than anime, no.
It's crazy. This is something that's gonna happen within our relationship. Is the fact I need to introduce you to more like animated shows.
Oh, I
Expand
see
your
how it is.
horizon. So I watch a lot of Netflix cartoons. One that was really good. There's just an example of one. Kipo, and what is it? The Wonder Beast? I don't remember. It might be. I might be mixing up
Oh, okay.
two
No,
shows.
wait, no, wait, no, wait. Technically, I did watch, what is it, Maya and the Three?
Okay, so that's a 3D animated
Technically, I
show.
watched that.
I never finished it. I haven't finished
I
it
know
yet.
you didn't. I finished it. I finished it all because I'm a big
But you
girl.
watched Adventure Time, didn't you?
No. I mean,
No.
I did, but no. Okay, it's nighttime. We need to go sleep before we get blown up.
Okay, I have 2 stacks of cobblestone for you.
But like, okay, so I watched Adventure Time, and I did kind of sort of like it a little bit, but I never actually watched it. Like, if you ask me to explain anything that's going on in that show, or ask me what my favorite part of that show is, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I have no idea.
It's
I didn't.
crazy. So my sister fell in love with it. Babe, that's my job. Oh,
Huh?
that's my job. This is my
Excuse
job.
you?
This is my job.
It's both of our jobs
It's
now.
my job. Don't take my job away from me.
I made it to where both sides are cobblestone generators, sir, so that way we could get more faster.
Oh, okay. But like, okay, so my sister fell in love with Adventure Time. My sister's
Hmm.
older than you. Um, and I didn't. It wasn't my show at first. I actually didn't like Adventure Time at first. But then Adventure Time started becoming more serious. And a lot of people, it's weird how some people perceive shows, or like how sometimes they hate them because they start getting more serious. A lot of people like that more, dumb, fun type of dynamic.
Whimsical.
Yeah, more dumb, fun type of dynamic with shows. But in all seriousness, I like a more serious plot with substance. Like, I get it. I understand the type of audience that likes to kind of just have mindless fun just watching a show with like the weird adventures they go on. But something about Adventure Time, like later on, it's not like the dumb fun in Adventure Time stopped. It just had serious plots every so often, because
Hmm.
what it is basically story building of a world, and that's something you always like in a show. but it had a lot of filler episodes, so that way the people that liked the whole dumb, fun, nonsensical fun in Adventure
I
Time.
hate filler episodes.
Okay, but some people like them. That's why they're made.
I know. I'm
Obviously,
just
it
saying
works.
I personally hate them.
Okay, and I get that. I don't like filler episodes either because I feel like I'm not learning anything. I'm wasting my time while watching a show. But there's a side of the audience that loves it. What are you doing? How are you able to break my stuff? Oh, you're awful.
Well, I love you, gosh.
I love you. But I liked Adventure Time. It was a good show. Why is it faster when you're sitting in there?
It's not.
It was though.
It had nothing to do with me sitting in there. It just less world lag at that moment in time, okay?
Sure. But yeah, I liked Adventure Time. It wasn't a bad show, even though it had a lot of filler episodes. But that's because there's a lot of characters in Adventure Time, and at least every show added more knowledge about certain characters that adventure would be about, or it would add more energy towards the characters that you know it was mainly focused on, which was Finn and Jake.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I think a filler episode that everyone gets on their mind is the Infinity Train. So there's a show, there's an episode where Finn and Jake get on a train that is infinite, and every cart is a different task. And with every task, you get a certain drop that makes you stronger in the train. Basically, kind of like an RPG, but on train cars. And Finn gets addicted to this, and basically he just go. But this train has like no time, like no set time. What is it? What would you call it? No set time scale. So basically, while you're in there, time moves faster, I guess, but it doesn't move at a consistent rate. It moves at pretty sporadically. So you kind of can where is that true? No, there was a whole future thing where Finn saw himself in the future if he stayed on the train, and that Jake would never leave him. So even though it was a filler episode, it really showed how close the relationship was between the two main characters. And the fact that even though Jake doesn't think that Finn's lifestyle is healthy, he will still be by Finn's side whether he likes it or not. That he wouldn't leave him. And, that made Finn, hate his decision because he saw that his basically brother, he doesn't see Jake as his dog, he sees him as his brother, was so loyal enough to stay by his side even though Finn was making a horrible decision for his life. And so that's basically like a gist of what filler episodes basically do, is that even the filler episodes, for the people that liked substance and characters and story, they could still see the substance in even the filler episodes. And I think that was a very good choice on the Adventure Time team's part. Now, shows that are a little bit longer, that have all complete substance, that every episode is a something that's going to be important to the plot, and it gives you that cliffhanger that makes you want to watch more, which is just a good business decision and altogether, those cliffhangers on episodes, so that way you want to wait the week after so you can watch that new episode that comes out, is a really good choice. And I like those a lot more because I get hooked on them more.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
so
how I am. I
yeah.
absolutely hate, I absolutely hate filler episodes solely for the reason of I want to know what's going on with the story. I
Hmm.
don't care what happened 6 years ago on a random fucking Tuesday.
Oh, would you really call that a filler episode if it's going to tell you a story about the world, about why a
Yeah.
character is how they are?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't think of it that way. I think getting to know characters are very important, so I wouldn't consider those filler episodes. Filler episodes are kind of like what how I think of filler
Episodes.
episodes are those
Episodes.
episodes in for instance, the episodes in Naruto. The filler episodes in Naruto are the type of
Are
fillers
fucking
I
trash.
are the ones I hate because they don't add anything. They don't add anything to the characters. It's kind of just putting these characters in funny situations and, not really building on them. And that's what I hated about Naruto's filler episodes. That's why I don't like Naruto. But there are shows that make episodes that are about a certain character in their past. I wouldn't consider that as a filler episode. It is a world building episode. It is building on top of what you already know of the world and adding more information to what the world is and what it has. So that's something I would actually do a lot if I were to be an animator, is that I would make I guess what you would consider a filler episode about a certain character's past and why they are the way they are, how they became, or like two characters on how they became friends after a long time, because you have a lot of those characters that you don't know really the story behind. Are you saying you would skip the getting to know these characters more? Because what those episodes do is they end up developing more
I
emotions toward the characters, so that way you can feel more for them when they get put in certain situations.
I don't mind flashbacks, stuff like that help you get to know them. But I hate it when you're in the middle of an arc of a story and an anime just all of a sudden is like, oh, let's get to know these people a little better real quick before this huge ass fucking battle or before the main point in the whole fucking story that you've been waiting 4 seasons for. We're just gonna throw in this episode randomly when you don't necessarily need to know this information yet, or you could have known it 3 seasons ago when it was actually relevant to the situation.
Okay, so what you mean is like timing of those
Exactly.
story
They always do
episodes.
the worst timing. The
So
worst
there's
timing.
so there's a reason I like shorter anime more than longer anime. So I would take a short ass fucking anime over a long ass one because every episode is going to have something important, and usually shorter episodes means that it's better for timing wise. Um,
Okay,
like when they're going to be doing those type of flashback episodes.
yeah. Listen, I love you, but I have to go pee, and I really kind of want to get something to snack on because my stomach feels like it's empty.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it does. So I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna pull the stream up so I can hear you and stuff, and you can keep talking if you want to. But
Okay,
I
great.
love you. I'll be back.
I love you. Yeah, she's just gonna leave me mid conversation. I see how it is. I like how no one's on today. It's crazy. Everyone must be really busy or something, because even Nex isn't really. I mean, she's probably at work, but Hime, Hime is doing something, but she hasn't followed my stream yet. Yeah, everyone must be busy. That's fine. I understand. I don't expect everyone to always be at my streams. I just, wish I had more people to talk to. And I probably would if I actually invited them this time. But I just thought, it's been a while. Thing is, like, I've sent her my stream name before, and she didn't even do anything with it. So she has it. She hasn't done anything with it. I didn't even get a new follower from her. I mean, that's true, I guess. Heck, I didn't even get a new follower from Croat, and yet he still seems to see it when I'm on or whatever. Which is kind of dumb that he hasn't followed me yet. And I was like, oh, you watched my show. You watched my episode of Minecraft, but you didn't follow me. How dare you? How dare you watch and not follow? That's not. I'm not that big enough to where I can start doing that yet. It's more like, please follow. Please follow me, please. Babe, did you end up leaving? Did you end up leaving the game or no? No, you didn't. Now I can't sleep. There we go. Wait, how did you leave the game? Makes me wonder if people are ever even interested in listening to me talk about animation. I find it to be an interesting topic, but I know other people might not. Because it's like it's a very like singular topic. Other people just might find it really boring. I find it interesting. I just don't know if this is a topic I should be talking about, since this actually can be very opinion based. And making something technical like animation, something that's nonsensical like animation, I guess kind of ruins it, maybe? I don't know, these are just the things I think about on a daily. Like, I love animation. It's what I wanted to be. It's what I wanted to do with my life. I sadly didn't follow through with it, even though I know I can at any time. I just don't have enough of a, following to back me up on it. Animation is very expensive, and, I would have to pay for Adobe monthly, and I already have a lot of subscriptions I am already on that I have to pay money for. Which is probably my fault, but like... I don't know. I would like to have, a lot more money before I start thinking about doing all that, paying for Adobe, because Adobe is honestly the only software I actually know how to use. Because I have a certificate in it to use it. I just wish it was more easy access. I tried using more free applications, like I have Medibang on my computer. I haven't bought a freaking tablet for it, and I don't even use my drawing tablet all that often, actually, even at all. And that's kind of annoying on my part, because I say that I want to try to do something, I say I love something, but then I never actually go and do it, because then it starts being like, well, now I'm just forcing myself to do it, and now I don't want to do it. It has to be something I'm in the mood for. And, like, if it's something I actually loved, then wouldn't I try harder in it? It's kind of... Which is, like, why I'm so surprised that I keep streaming. Even though I get hardly, like, no viewers or anything like that, I still keep streaming. I make a schedule, and I stick to the schedule, and it's partially thanks to Nikita always pushing me to go do it, even though some days I don't feel like I want to. On some days I also push myself to keep wanting to stream every day, or like, every other day. And I'm doing it every other day because if I do it every day, I'm going to be worn out on it. I know it. And I do like my free time after work. And the work I do is very mentally you know, mentally draining. So having those days off kind of help, balance that out so that way I don't feel mentally drained. And even though it's like playing video games all the time, it's like trying to figure out how to make my streams more entertaining. I just wish I was able to, you know, follow through with more things that I want that I say. Or more things that I say I want to do. Like I could become an animator. I know I can. It's just I'm not putting in the work that I should be in order to get that done. Even though I say it's something I want to do, even though it's something I seem like I'm very knowledgeable about, it's, actually starting. That's hard for me. And then even if I do start, I'll start doing it, but then I get frustrated because it's not turning out right exactly how I want it to. And it makes me rather annoyed. Very annoyed. Whenever I'm not able to put things exactly how I envision it. And I feel like that's a very frustrating thing about my personality is the fact that I kind of want it to be done perfect near the first time. And I know something like animation takes a lot of practice. A lot of time. And yet, I don't have the patience for it. And I think that's a really big issue with me, is the fact that I don't have a lot of patience with the activities that I do. Especially if I don't feel like I'm being productive. Like, when I'm doing drawing, and I'm trying to draw something on a computer or something like that, I'll probably erase it 20 different times and then end up not drawing anything afterwards just because a certain shape is not turning out how I like it. While people who are really good at drawing are just able to just do it so good, exactly how they want it, or they can take a mistake and turn it into something so beautiful. And I feel like I'm just a person that appreciates art. That's probably my place, is the fact that I'm a person that appreciates art, but I'm not a person that is able to produce it. Like I can make ideas. I have had plenty ideas of animation, I of just animation in general that I could do. I never followed through. I never took the time to find my style. I still haven't. And even though sometimes I try to do it on paper, I end up losing that drive very quickly. And that's something that you just can't do in that type of field. Because once you stop, I have a book that's out there. A book. And it's called Transitus. And, I haven't worked on that book for almost a year. And I only was able to put out a single chapter of that story. I still have the second chapter. Not even the second chapter. I would say it's chapter 1, part 2 of my book out, set up and ready to upload, but I have been too lazy to upload it. And honestly, that's probably because I was expecting my best friend to work on it with me, but he has his own life things going on, and, it kind of just felt like I was working on it by myself. And that was Transitus is a story that me and him created together. And I feel wrong being someone that, is the one that is putting all the work into it. And it just feels like that way because, honestly, this is a part of the story where me and him don't make it together. That's where it is at. And it's going to take a long time before me and him can actually work together on a story. So yeah, it would take a while before me and him would actually be able to make that story and do that, I have to go through an entire book and work on an entire book by myself in order for us to actually start working together on something. Like, so basically, what Transitus is it was a book I made, or at least this part of the story I made. It's about a boy. His name is Vice Frio. I know, pretty cringy name. I know. But it was that cringy name that kind of stuck with me for a long time. Because me and him, like, I guess you could say me and him did a lot of live action roleplay as kids. um, yeah, me and him did a lot of live action roleplay as kids. Like, a lot of live action roleplay. And I don't know what happened. But, well, I do know what happened. We got older and we stopped doing it as often. That's something that always sucks, is that you grow old enough and you just starts becoming like, something that you just don't start doing anymore. And that's like a very upsetting thing, is the fact that you start growing up and other things start becoming more important. So you guys don't get to do all that stuff anymore with the people that you care about. I did that, but me and him, whenever I do come to go visit home, and we do hang out, we do continue where we left off on that story. But it's a completely another form of Transitus. It's a story that me and him created together. Basically, it started off as a Sonic the Hedgehog LARPing, but eventually I was able to turn it away from that and change it into something more original. I created a character, and then we started implementing that into our stories. And even though it started out as a Sonic the Hedgehog LARPing session, it was more of a original story about characters. And me and him, like, we love these characters a lot, especially some of the characters I create. I've probably have the biggest thing where I made probably too much characters for this story, and tried so many times to like loop through these characters and actually come up with different stories for them. And then forgotten some characters along the way, because it just became too much, so we just wanted to stick to a certain plot, basically retconning certain characters from existence. And that's what happens when you make a story so big, is you want to start incorporating so many characters that just becomes hard to manage. And that's something we learned together. Like, I made over 100 characters during our time LARPing, I guess. I mean, it stopped becoming LARPing and more became like vocal storytelling, to where me and him would kind of use our imagination and put together a story verbally. We never wrote it down, but we remember a lot of the events that we remember almost all the events that conspired in our stories, except when we leave off. We always forget where we left off, but we remember a lot of the basic plot points. And honestly, it was fun. I love every time that we do it, because it just shows, how creative that two minds can just be over a single topic. So Transitus, what it is basically what the story is there are four beings. They are basically, what you would call guardians, I guess the basic guardian tale. Each of them being a guardian over a certain element. Oh, hi, babe.
Hi.
Were you listening the whole time?
Pretty
Babe?
much.
Pretty much? Okay.
Kind of.
So I can just kind of
Keep,
continue
yep,
on?
keep going. Yep.
Yep, keep going. So basically what Transitus is, it's four beings coming together, kind of like a guardian role. Basically that's what they were called, is they were guardians of this singular world, singular point in a multiverse. And each of these characters were pulled from different worlds. Two of them being ones that saved their worlds from destruction and despair, and the other two being the cause of the destruction of their world in one way, shape, or form. Whether it was through apocalyptic settings, or whether or not they just like completely just eradicated all life on that planet, leaving only them behind. And my character, he lives in a world where it's modern, it's post Cold War. Cold War lasted a
Sleep,
lot
baby.
longer, right? Cold War lasted a lot longer than, what history tells, let's say. And what actually happened is that the Cold War, actually initiated a war with Russia.
Can I have some of that cobblestone?
You have a bunch of them in this chest, though.
Thank you. Oh, do I? I didn't
Yeah.
even look. That should be more than enough cobblestone, baby.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
You can keep farming if you want, because I can use it on the path in the nether, but this is more than enough for now.
I'll keep doing this while I'm talking then.
Okay.
So basically, what my story it's basically a modernized fantasy sci-fi type thing. My character is a demon, and well, it's kind of cringy again. It's a demon angel hybrid. Basically, how this world is the world went through a war, and this was initiated because of the Cold War. I forget specifically what it is, but it is in the book, because on that chapter, for only that one chapter I did work on, it explained specifically what was the one difference in history um, between our world and his world. In the fact that that Cold War initiated a real war with Russia, a whole nuclear kind of war. But it wasn't what, we were still able to recover afterwards, and we were able to make a speedy recovery. Seriously, Crut? Welcome to the stream. And then like this world, how his family became to be. Basically, there was also a war in the spiritual side between heaven and hell, obviously. But the two strongest warriors between both sides fought in battle with each other and fell in love with each other. And, then they decided to escape their individual, factions, became traitors to each faction, heaven and hell, and hid within the human world to keep their families safe, at least just for temporarily. But, they didn't know really how to live, so they decided to use the skills that they learned in their war and use it to end the war that was happening in the human world, so that way they can make their world safer. So they basically joined the military, part of a special ops, and the father was the cause of the end of the war in that world, but also disappearing in the same instance. Several years later, kids are going to school normally again, learning about that part of history. The kids don't really know who their father really was, kind of a secret that the mother keeps from them. But, they're trying their best to get by. The kids, they have a good relationship, especially the brother and it's a brother and a sister. My character and another character named Bella. Kind of a year difference. And then, the mother, and then there's a dog. And, this family, they're doing well. They're doing good with themselves. Each of them have a set personality. Vice being someone who is who chooses to not care about the things in his life except for the most important things. But, you know, other things are kind of, you know, just... This story is making me cry. Why is it making you cry? I haven't even gotten to the sad parts yet. I can't afford tissues, though. It's not in the budget. Tissues aren't in the budget. um, but yeah, you know, and it's cool because the brother and the sister have the same friend group. Vice has a best friend. Vice's girlfriend is his sister's best friend, and they all kind of hang together. They have the clan on like they play video games. Basically have a really close relation. Even their families have really close relations with each other. And you know they go to school one day, and basically their worlds just kind of goes tumbling down. Their school gets raided by a faction of Reapers that were ordered to kill a certain member, basically a member of a group of 25 that is supposed to, you know, end the war between heaven and hell, or that are so prophesized. And so they want to kill one of the members so that way this prophecy doesn't come true. Their target is Vice's girlfriend. Her name is Angela. So basically these Reapers end up killing a bunch of the students in the school. They eventually find her, at least the Lord of the Reapers finds them. Vice and Angela trying to escape the school. And I make it pretty gruesome in the book, where the Reaper basically kills Angela right in front of him, and it breaks him down. And it unlocks the monster that is inside of him. So I have a really important question. Can I raise my hand? Sure, Crowit, what do you want? Also, welcome to the stream. I see that I have 3 viewers. That is not Crowit and or my babe.
I'm in the stream.
I know. I'm talking that isn't. So there's another viewer that isn't one of you two.
There was.
There was? It's gone now?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Crowit? Yes, they do. He always asks me this question, babe. Do you see the question?
I mean, it's not just in the woods, though.
I mean, of course it's not just in the woods, but he's not saying if it is just. He's saying, does a bear shit in the woods?
I
answer
think
is yes.
I think the question would best be asked to him. He's probably the most related to a bear out of the 3 of us.
What are you trying to say?
I don't.
Sorry, I think I scared the viewer away. Crud. You probably did.
No, I think it was just Twitch trying to register that I was watching, because I closed the stream to open the YouTube video and then reopened the stream before it registered that I was gone.
Oh, that probably is it.
I hate to say that, but
That's probably exactly what it is. That's fine.
sorry, baby.
Should I get back to my story?
Yes.
So, where would I leave off? I always have this issue where I don't know where I leave off.
It's Crowd's fault. Blame him.
Yeah, I blame Crowit. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, that's right. Angela dies in front of my character Vice. Yes, she dies a very brutal death um, in front of him. So that power within him unlocks. Basically, these characters, they're like obviously like the mother knew that these kids were gonna have very special powers, being born from whatever they were, and Vice being probably one of the most dangerous. So she put a magic seal on her kids to suppress it, so that way the magic power that is within them can't be detected by the art. What is it? Would you call them? The artisans of hell, or the denizens? I don't know. Either way, they didn't. So, as a way to hide them, she suppressed their magic. But in this moment, that power just became so overwhelming that it broke the seals within the children, and his power became unleashed. And this power is blue fire. And basically, what this blue fire is that wow, for what was it said? What was it that I said in the book? It was fire that raged. Sorry, it was like something that having to do with with Lucifer's rage, but being as cold as his heart. And basically, it's a fire that is more is like it feels cold. It's a cold fire that still burns when it touches whatever it touches. And it's like that's basically what it was, and that's basically in heaven and hell there are two factions in each of them holding a certain element. Within hell, it is fire and ice, the Frio family and the whatever the fire family was, I can't remember. And then you have the Ventians and the Terrarians in heaven, earth and wind. Um, and the blue fire is a combination between both families. It's that point where like Lucifer's bloodline splits, and basically these two families have competitions where they kill each other to see who can gain that power of the blue fire. They become basically the new rulers of hell. And in this one instance, Vice didn't need to kill anyone in order to gain this power. More like the flames chose him. And, that power just awakened. He sees the spirit that is within that power, and the spirit unlocks itself within him, and he defeats the Reaper. He defeats the Reaper out of rage, and he doesn't understand. Oh, we want to sleep. He doesn't understand why everything happened, but he just knows that he lost someone that was very important to him. Babe, sleep?
Am.
Okay. But he doesn't understand why all this is happening to him. And while this is all going on, and this is like in the part of the book that I wrote, but I haven't uploaded, Bella and his best friend, John, are basically, trying to escape the Reapers themselves in a different way. Basically, they were in their class periods, and while Vice and Angela were in their lunch period. And they were, trying to escape as well through the classrooms. Their teacher died first, and the rest of the students are dying or escaping because they're not the right target. And they're trying to escape, and their power gets unlocked because Vice's power gets unlocked, and he breaks that seal. and that seal kind of bonds them together. And they defeat their Reapers, and they meet up with Vice, and you know they escape. That's basically the whole gist of the story, for at least for the beginning part. I eventually do plan on going back to it. It's just, it sucks having to work on it all by myself when I'm someone that likes to bounce ideas off of other people. If I don't get to bounce ideas off of others, then it becomes hard for me to come up with stuff. And like, I made other stories. That's just one of them. And eventually it was going to span off to where, like, once that story was over and Vice disappeared from that world, I'd move on to another story, and that's where another universe version of John would be the one that destroys his world, which is, John is my best friend's character. And then we would move on to the other ones, and they were ones that saved their world or destroyed their world in one way, shape, or form. And they would be stripped from their worlds to be put into this one world. Basically this world that we call, like, Earth Prime. And at that point the book would be called Transitus Prime. It's the central point in which all those characters, or like those four main characters of each of their individual stories would come together, and they would have to shape the world they live in into what they see is right. Basically, how the story goes is like kind of a social experiment created by the god of that world to see if these characters could create a world better than he could. Basically, he was trying to make a world that didn't need God and was run more by mortals that played his role instead of him. Of course, he would still supervise, but they would basically be the main turning points. If something about these characters were to come up, it would change the world drastically. And each of them became guardians of certain elements. And you're going to think it's very funny, but each of these characters were technically another world versions of characters from families, like their blood is from families that are very important, and that is the families that I told you about in Vice's story, where it was the ice faction, the fire faction, the wind faction, and the earth faction. Each of them are from those factions, but from different worlds, which I think is really cool. I thought that was a great idea. The fact that those factions play a big part in almost every world makes them a very important superpower and a good reason why they were chosen. So basically they run this world. They change it to what they believe in would work. And then eventually once they get to a certain point, they realize, once they get to a certain point, they have to pass down that burden. Honestly, these beings can live they are given the gift of living forever. But in order to induce change, you also must change who is ruling over that world. So they decide to pass it down to four more individuals. That some of them being their children, others being outside forces. And then they keep passing that down. Honestly, like, I wish it would be. If I were to actually make it a book and it were to get enough people to read it, I would be very happy to see it on a big screen or, like, see it in a series. And this is just one story I've come up with. And a lot of the stories I do come up with are also dreams. That one wasn't from a dream. That was from bouncing my ideas off from a friend. But I've had weird dreams where I can make actual full books on, because it gives me such a great basic plot point, or it gives me actually a pretty detailed plot point on what the end goal is, how it should start out, who these characters are as people in the story, and it gives me a good idea of what the personalities are. So one dream I had very vividly, and this was actually before I joined the military, but it was like right before, and I feel like I had this dream because I was going into the military, and this is what I thought. Like, this is like the basic gist of what I thought the military was like, and it was like this hard ass whole special ops thing or whatever like that. So basically, what my dream was about was I was in the body of someone named Philip. He was part of a special forces team of 4, or no, a special forces team of 3. You had him, his best friend, and this one woman. I can't remember their names off the top of my head right now. But I was in Philip's body. I wasn't playing any part. My emotions didn't carry in the story. I was basically just living his story. I was feeling his emotions, but I wasn't the one that was creating those emotions. And basically, they are a special ops team that are given a special task. You should go into cyber. Not yet. But, these 3 are given a task to go to South Africa because of a platoon of soldiers that went missing while they were surveying an area, basically trying to make a temporary home station, and they just up and disappeared. And so they get there, and they meet with the tribe people that are close, that were close to where these soldiers disappeared. The tribe explains to them that there is a forest, or a forested area down farther to the east, where the soldiers went to, that basically is a very dangerous place to go. Anyone who enters is never seems to come out. Basic story point. And so, this platoon, like, this team thinks it's a load of malarkey, and they decide to go in anyways, despite the warnings of... Alright, wake up at the butt crack of dawn, grow it, have fun. But, basically, this team decides to go on this mission. They go into the forest, basically this forest, and it ends up shrouding them in a fog, a very dense fog, and they're stuck. They don't know their way out. And in this forest, basically, it's like, how people like to say that how wormholes are, is like rips in space and time. And if you go through like a wormhole, you can end up being in a completely different area in space and time. Kind of like, because like wormholes have an endpoint, right? So if you go through a wormhole or a black hole or something like that, well, obviously we know what a black hole does. It kind of just destroys you. But a wormhole is kind of like a way of travel. But you don't know if it's going to be a travel through time or travel through space. It can kind of be like a rip. And there you can be from one place to another, but at a different time. And so that's kind of like where I went with, what I thought about it after I woke up, was that's what that was. So this forest is within a pocket in space and time that is untouched. It's kind of like that in-between. You enter the forest, you're entering that wormhole, and you're in that in-between point where it ends up splitting off into different parts of space and time. It's a very central part. And so they come in, and they get separated. And what ends up happening is they end up finding these weapons. and these weapons are basically made by a certain rock or metal that is found within that forest that is able to manipulate or affect space and time. So these weapons, you know, are given to them, gifted to them by a god, god of time, basically like budget Kronos. And they have to fight these monsters, and these monsters eat time. They eat it. They basically go into a point in space and time and they eat it. And they get more powerful the more time that they eat. So they end up encountering one of these monsters, or the main character does. He takes it down with this weapon that was given to him. And, they're trying to figure out how to get out of this forest. And, I start dreaming and I start jumping ahead to certain points. One of the characters tries to betray the other one because they try to betray the main character. Another character comes in from one of the tribes, basically from a different point in time, where she is able to manipulate the space around her with her weapon, and she like knows exactly what's going on, what she needs to do. She's from a tribe of people that was meant to take down these monsters, and she's the only one left. And so she joins this group. And eventually they do end up finding their way out of the forest. They do. And once they get out of that forest, the main character, Philip, decides to stay and learn more about the forest. And that's where I kind of just wake up. I wake up and it's like this crazy dream where I'm basically a soldier and I'm going through all this shit. And in the end, even though I thought it was awful during the time, I became so curious about the forest that I decided I wanted to stay. And then, and that's just one dream. But like, I have a lot of those kind of dreams where I can make stories out of my dreams a lot. It just all depends on whether or not I like them enough to where I'm going to remember them very vividly. Like another dream I once had a dream. I feel like a lot of them are very military based, or military oriented. And it's not because I'm in the military. It's just I feel like the military would be the stuff that would be the kind of like job profession that would be more akin to being put into these situations. So, like, I had this one dream. And this time I was in the body of a woman, so that was already trippy enough. And it was a girl. She's going to this academy, and she wants to become an encryptor. And, you're probably thinking, like, an encryptor, like the people that, like, encrypt stuff, encrypt files and everything like that. But in this world, it's kind of like a digital world where reality and the virtual reality merge into one spot, into like basically one world. And basically data is encroaching onto the physical nature stuff, so it becomes both bio and technical. It's already an interesting concept there, because it's like, could that actually happen as well? Kind of like the dystopian future type thing but but to them it doesn't seem dystopian, and it's really weird. It's like you would think that they it would be like dystopian, but actually they're thriving, or it seems like they're thriving. So basically, this girl, she's seen as crazy because every so often she'll get flashes of another world, and it's a world that's more broken, and people don't look healthy at all, and they look more mechanical than human. And you can probably already think of what this is, what I'm going with it. Basically, she's able to see what the reality is. Everyone else is stuck seeing how the world is I guess supposed to be seen, quote unquote, while she's able to see what reality actually looks like. I don't know if you've a good example of what this would be like. I don't know if any of you watched one of those little short animations on YouTube. There was one about like Luigi and he needs therapy, and because he keeps seeing this other world, and Mario just tells him to keep taking his mushrooms. So basically, it's like saying, all these characters are high, and their world doesn't actually look like what it's supposed to be. But this is different because basically, a government project gone wrong. Technology kind of merges with nature, and eventually that technology ends up being embedded into humanity. Because why not? And what it starts out as is an encryption in the brain. And that encryption forces you to see things as if it's like a virtual reality type world, but it also becomes real to you. These people eventually, like, it spreads to the rest of their body, and it becomes partially bio in the fact that people can be born with it. Like, it kind of becomes a part of something that people can be born with, but this girl was not born with it in her brain. You could say it was a birth defect within the system. And she wasn't born with it in her brain, but she still came out partially mechanical. And what keeps her in that in that virtual world is her wearing a specific necklace. It's basically kind of like the encryption. It's what the encryption is made out of. So it's able to keep her in there, but she is able to see reality every so often, and it scares her. And so she's seen as crazy. But she lives with this rich family, and they have a long line of, encryptors that she is basically being peer pressured into going to this academy to become an encryptor. And she becomes a really good encryptor until she decides to go against the system, and she wants to take down the system. So she ends up finding out that the world that she's seeing is actually real. And she goes to hunt down basically the mother brain and destroy it, because this world is basically on its last legs. And in order to, it's kind of like she's kind of destroying the world, because there's no way humanity is going to survive anyways. The sun's burnt out. Electronic technology has kind of taken over the planet, and you destroying that technology that's basically keeping anything alive in some way, shape, or form on planet Earth, you're destroying it. Basically killing everyone else in there, in the world. Because that means if that mother brain dies, that means no more encryptions, and no more encryptions means that people are going to die themselves, because they can't survive in a sunless world. But she ends up basically destroying that brain. I guess you could say that's partially saving, because I guess you would think that, it'd be saving the universe rather than just that world, because she basically destroyed the planet. But if you think about it, kind of like how Metroid thinks of Metroids. Metroid thinks of Metroids. Like, you want to eradicate all the Metroids, right, before they start spreading to other planets. Kind of like that. It's like a virus. She basically killed the virus so that way it wouldn't spread throughout the universe and basically take over. And I thought it was a cool concept. This girl, she's hated by many, and she ends up being the one that wakes up and sees the world for what it really is and stops it. Because as much as you love living in a dream, seeing reality as for what it is, you have that feeling that what you're that fake reality that you're seeing is wrong. And so you want to make sure that everything you feel is real. And I guess that's partially like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't get it, but I do get it. It's a weird dream, but I thought it was a cool dream, and that would be another one that I would make a book out of. Now, back when I was trying to do animation or comics or whatever, either of the two, I didn't care as long as I was making characters at the time. So I did a project when I was in tech school for graphic commercial arts. And, graphic commercial arts, you think it's just making like logos and stuff like that. But in my tech school, they wanted us to do more than this, that. So they made us do a project where basically we would do any form of art that we wanted to do and to study on. And animation and comics was mine. I did it kind of too, but like they kind of go hand in hand sometimes. You can make an animation before a comic, or you can do a comic first and make an animation out of it. It doesn't matter, but they go hand in hand. So I made is honestly, this is probably like the most innocent type of thing I've ever made, or an innocent type of story I've ever came up with. So I was infatuated with space, and I came up with the idea because I was trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to do for this project. I know I wanted to do animation, but what was I going to do as my example for that project and the process on how to do this animation? And a lot of my people liked my idea. So I took two things, put them together. And it wasn't things that I liked together. One of the things I'm interested in, which is space. And then I got the idea because I looked at a letter in my mom's car that she never opened. And, I thought of, oh shit, what if I do a space mailman? So basically I kind of did a caricature of Halley's Comet. And, I thought it would be the best option as a mailman of a solar system because Halley's Comet travels basically around the solar system while passing by a lot of the planets, or basically all of the planets. I don't know. I don't really know what the rotation cycle of Halley's Comet is. I just know it goes really close to the sun and then goes really far away from the sun. But I thought it was a great idea to make a story about a mailman based off of Halley's Comet. And I made the company based off the constellation Aquila because, U.S. Postal Services uses an eagle as their symbol, so why not make the eagle constellation be the symbol for, a mail company? And I enjoyed this idea a lot, and so did a lot of other people. Basically, I did caricatures of different planets or different objects. You could do caricatures of the asteroids. So I basically made an asteroid city. Or like that at least was like the idea was there's an asteroid city for the asteroid belt. You had different people or beings that would take care of their planet and kind of shape it. So Earth was made by a girl named Tara, obviously, because Tara is is what Earth is. And she basically she was a scientist, and she was a scientist of life, creating life. So basically she did experiments on herself, and she would try to, or not on herself, but within her little home, and she would add it to the planet. You would have, other caricatures of different other planets, and then you have a caricature for the sun, and a caricatures for the stars. And basically, Comet, for Halley's Comet, that's what his name was, he fell in love with a star. And there was a letter for the star that he was supposed to deliver, but he fell in love with her. And, you know, she's like, and like the sun is a mayor, and basically I made it to where this star is actually the daughter of the sun. And, you know, this comet falls in love with the star after trying to catch a letter that I guess flew off into space. And, you know, I decided to add on to it later on in life, and I made caricatures for Jupiter, Neptune, um, and I tried to make other ones for other planets, but I kind of, it was another one of those things where I kind of threw it off to the side. And it's sad.
Baby,
Yes?
can I ask you to go down in your mind and bring me back a bucket of lava?
Bucket of lava?
We have a bucket.
Do we not have an infinite lava source?
You can't create an infinite lava source.
Okay. I have a lot of cobblestone for you.
Thank you.
It's actually crazy how much cobblestone I've mined up. But, basically, oh, what was I talking about? So I added on to it, and I gave up on it, and sadly I did, because it was actually a really neat little kids cartoon type thing that I could do. Still anime based, because that's all I know really how to draw is anime characters. I mean, I know how to draw more than anime characters. It's just I prefer to draw anime characters, and as most art studios hate it, it's a form of art form. I think of it as an art. A lot of older artists think that it's not an art, and that's very sad because, you know, it has to do with a lot of portions and everything like that. And, you know, it's fine. But it was like a cartoony anime type style. And basically, I added on to it, making it to where these characters actually had stories to tell for what they did. You could see the evolution of it. And it was more like, it was a story that didn't have substance. And it was probably like, it was weird for me because I never made a story that, I never made a animation or I never made characters that didn't have substance before. And, you know, it was funny how much I enjoyed the idea of this, of these characters and the type of weird, wacky adventures that they would be put on, or weird tasks that they would have to go through. And I love the designs I made for them, especially Jupiter. I think Jupiter is a lot of people's favorite design that I made. I posted her on my Instagram. Actually, I posted all of them on my Instagram, at least like the ones that I drew last, the designs I drew last. And it was like, Jupiter was a lot of people's favorites, just because her design was so intricate. Well, I guess no, not intricate, but it was simplistic, but you know, also like you could understand what she was based off of. It was weird because it was like a mixture of fashion design and character design. Because I made a dress, her dress was based off of Jupiter, and on her stomach was the red dot, or yeah, the red spot on Jupiter. Well, like the rest of her dress was all shoot. Like her dress was all shit, I can't remember what I'm trying to say. Leave me alone! Stupid slimes. But, like, you know, her design was, like, very It was very nice. I liked her design. She had short hair. She kind of looked like she was made of nougat. So I decided to make her like a baker because she seemed like she like would bake. I don't know. And I made like this idea of like she made like Jupiter pie, and it was kind of like a uh, marshmallow pumpkin pie that was like had Jupiter swirls in it, and I thought like that was a really cute idea, and like she was like, and you know Jupiter storms and everything like that, and basically she'd be a very moody character, kind of like how you think of tsunderes. But yeah, she was a very moody character, and I liked associating that with her planet because her planet has is basically constant storms. Therefore, it's a very moody personality. So I basically made I made people kind of like a what is it Earthchan? Earthchan is a very good example. I personified a planet, and I loved that idea that I personified a planet. Some of them. I really love that idea. Neptune, he was cool. Uh, it's funny because I don't even think I'd made Neptune more like correlate because I don't really know that much about Neptune. But I made it to where he tries to get girls to like him, like, and he's not a bad looking guy, but like girls don't really like him. So he's like flirtatious, tries to act like the cool guy, but he isn't actually the cool guy. And then like Comet is the very adventurous and energetic one. He likes to keep moving. He doesn't really like to sit down. And then Star is she likes to like she's like a very nice, bright personality. Like if you think of a star, you think of them being bright, and her personality is she has a bright personality. And those are like the four main characters that I decided to make for like whatever adventures I would tell. Um, and like the other ones would be more like side characters. And even Pluto was included. I was going to make a character design for Pluto, being a dwarf planet. I never got around to it. And it's sad. I wanted to make Venus. I wanted to make it to where like Venus was like the sister of Earth, or like Terra. And like, but she was more toxic. She was like she had like a very toxic personality because Venus is so dangerous with its poisonous gases. Hey babe, where are you?
At the thing.
But yeah, she had a very toxic personality, so I kind of wanted to design her with a more toxic personality design compared to Terra, where Terra had a very natural look to her, where it kind of gave her like the hippie look, but she was also still a scientist that liked to experiment with nature. And what else? What was a good one? What was another design I wanted to make? Ooh, Mercury. Because it was so close to the sun, I wanted to make him like a rock-headed person, like a rock-headed personality, where he was kind of like a bully. Think of like Bakugo from My Hero Academia. He was going to be very similar to him. There you go, babe.
Thank you.
But yeah, he was going to be very similar to Bakugo in his personality. Um, and then like, what was the other character designs I was thinking of? I don't really know. I really don't know. There's just a lot of planets in the solar system, and like there's still more there to be still covered. But I mainly wanted to focus on like the main ones, make even personalities for like the constellations. Like Aquila was like the manager of Aquila delivery service, or I wanted to like do other ones for like the zodiacs, and stuff like different constellations and everything. So it was actually going to be very complicated. I started making it more complicated than with the original idea, where it was just comet and star. But like I wanted to actually make a full world, and that's like I think that's why I'm so fascinated with animation or with video games, is the fact that you can create worlds. I'm fascinated by the idea of creating whole new worlds out of just ideas, and it fascinates me to no end because I see people that make video games, I see people that make shows, and it makes you wonder like these people are just making these things completely out of their asses, and just keep on building out onto it. Like sure, they base they base a lot of their ideas off of real world things like mythology or certain like theories, but they're able to just create worlds that have their own logic, and it fascinates me. Like the fascination of the human imagination and what it can create, what it's capable of. And then in turn, I'm not a very religious person. Like I mean I am and I'm not. I believe in God. It's just I believe in him in a certain different way. And I feel like the people that have the closest that are the closest idea to what God is are people that are able to create worlds like that. Authors, artists, um, they are able to do what God can do to a certain extent. And I feel like they are the closest to what example of what God would be like. Because they're gods to their respective worlds that they create. Like my favorite world to ever be created is the world of Final Fantasy VII. I kind of like the whole. Would you call it steampunk or like cyberpunk, or I don't really know what you would call that. Kind of like a sort of like world where it has its own logic with the planet, and own religion, and the fact that you have people that are called Cetra that worship a planet, and the planet has a life stream, and that's where people go when they die. They go back to the earth as energy for the planet. I don't know. It's like it's so crazy. It's a crazy idea, but it's something that someone created just out of their head, and they pitched it, and then they actually made it a thing. And I love it. I absolutely love the fact that people can create so many things.
BB,
Yes?
you ready to go collect a villager with me?
Ooh, alright. But yeah. Hopefully this is entertaining. Babe, do you think this is entertaining or not?
Hmm.
This is probably the most I've ever talked during a stream.
You're doing good, BB.
Hello, welcome to the stream. We're talking about animation and, creating things. I know, I see 2 viewers. Babe, did you switch over or anything?
Yes, I did. That might be me. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it was you. Where are you?
I'm at the farm still.
Go take my bow over there. But yeah, creating worlds. I love the idea of creating worlds, and it fascinates me to no end. I love it, and I want to see more. It's that hunger to want to see more worlds that
So we.
are able to be created like that. I want to see more. And and even though like I don't feel like I can contribute much to that, creating new worlds for other people to see, to be a part of, you know, it's always good to just appreciate the work that people do with it. It's amazing. And I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with like so I have a fascination with the human brain. I like to think that I know a lot about the human mind and how it works, but I also know that that's something that, you know, there are definitely a lot of experts that are a lot better at it than, well, I could understand. I interpret things a lot differently than most people. At least I like to think I do. Um, like with certain people in my life, I'm able to, I wouldn't say tell them, but like, what the heck happened to the boat? You saw that, right?
What?
With the boat where it was like sort of splashing a bunch of stuff everywhere, bubbles.
Oh, it's because you went over a magma cube in the water. It was trying to suck you down.
Okay. But yeah, I have a fascination with how the human mind works, and I guess it goes hand in hand with how I love how the human brain can create worlds at a single thought. Starting with a single thought, and it's hard to explain, but like I'm like with my own family, I'm able to tell them like exactly what's wrong with them. I wouldn't say exactly what's wrong with them, but like exactly certain issues that they go through that they don't realize, and certain things that they feel that they don't realize that they are feeling. But then when I bring it out into the light, then they realize, oh yeah, that's exactly what's wrong, or like that's exactly what's going on. So like that's kind of how it is. I know enough about the human brain to at least analyze someone enough to
Sorry,
kind
I'm
of
trying
tell
to
them what
remember
they need to work
exactly
on.
where the village is over here.
Isn't it that way?
I don't.
I think it's that way. Yeah, it's right this way, to the left. Babe? Babe!
I don't know where to the left is. I don't know
Where
where
I
you
was,
are, and I just
where we were
lost
going.
my boat because I fucking looked around and accidentally jumped out of my boat. Now it's in the stuck.
I'll come to you. Where'd you go? You were going the right way.
I turned around and went back the other way a little bit.
Yeah, go back to where we were going.
I can't go back anywhere. I have zero boat. Boat invisible.
I'm coming. I don't even see you. Or your name. You went far, Jesus Christ.
No, I didn't. You just kept going when you saw me turn around. You went far.
I didn't go that far.
I'm less than 50 blocks from where I turned around.
And I didn't go far from where I turned around. I don't get where you are. I don't see your name anywhere.
I'm back the way we came. I'd give you coordinates, but you are not any good at using them, so it's pointless.
That's kind of mean, but okay.
I'm not meaning it to be mean, I'm just being honest. If you would just go back the way we came, you would find...
I did. I don't see you.
You didn't go far enough.
How far back did you go?
Back... I turned around when we were barely in the land area, babe. I'm on the edge.
Babe, I'm going...
You went farther.
No, I did not. I did not.
I
did not go a lot farther. I didn't go farther at all. I'm at the water temple that we raided. That's how far back I've gone.
I'm not out in the middle of the ocean, ding dong. You went right past me if that's the case.
I didn't see your name. You can look at the stream. I haven't seen you.
Then you
Don't
didn't
get
go
don't
back
don't
the
don't
way we
don't
came.
act don't
You
act
went back a different way.
don't be
I'm not
frustrated
in the
with me.
middle of the ocean.
Don't be frustrated with me because I did not see your name at all.
Then you didn't go back the way we came.
I
You went
did
back
go
a different
back.
way. You would have
We
seen me.
passed
I
we
would have
passed
seen
by the
you.
temple. I know I know where I came from, babe. I
I'm
didn't
in
see
the
you at all.
desert area. I didn't go all the way back through the ocean. I just. I literally am less than 50 blocks away from where I turned around. I'm just gonna forget the damn boat. Gotta make a new one.
Okay, so we went over. There you are. Where are you? I don't see your name. I see your boat, but I don't see you.
I'm
There
right
you are.
here. You have to learn to look through the land to see a name. Yeah, see, I can't see a boat right there. There's no fucking boat. It's a glitch when you play on a PC server or something, I guess. You actually have to beat the shit out of the boat so I can pick it up. That's why I don't understand why you can't see my name all the damn time, because I'm literally within range of you. I went
I
through
came
this
back.
land.
I came through there. That's why I don't understand. I didn't
right
see
there
you.
on the sand the whole time.
I didn't see you. Did you see me?
I wasn't paying attention.
See, then there's your issue. You can't yell at me if you weren't paying attention to where I was.
I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at my phone.
Oh my god.
I didn't know how far you went.
I didn't
You were
go
all
far
like,
at
I
all.
couldn't see your name, so I was
I
like, well,
didn't
you
see
must
your
have gone
name.
really far.
I'm sorry I'm blind, I guess. I must have not seen it.
It's not that you're blind, it's just you went right past me.
I went right past you and I didn't, because I didn't see you. Oh, go back through the footage
See, look,
later.
fucking invisible fucking boat again. I don't understand. I was literally not having an issue at all a minute ago with my boat. I need it.
Where the hell did my boat go?
Your boat's right here.
Oh shit, it's happening to me
I can
now.
see your boat. I can't see my boat. I'm gonna steal your boat. You can steal my boat. And then we're gonna sleep the night away. And then we're gonna kidnap some villagers. Apparently this isn't a house with a bed.
Either is this one. And this one doesn't have one either. Creeper.
Well, that sucks balls. Oh well.
I don't think any of these houses have beds.
Then how are there villagers? Because you can't have villagers without beds.
Did we pillage this place for beds?
I didn't pillage it for beds. I mean, I pillaged the place, but... Oh no, there's a villager getting attacked. Run, Mr. Villager. Get inside your house. Don't get murdered. Why are villagers idiots? We need you alive, sir. Where's the dang bell?
What's going on with him? He has like an effect on him.
Yeah, it's starvation. It's from the skeletons, or the zombies here. Here.
I don't see any beds. Is he the only villager here?
I don't know, but I blocked him in a building. No, there's another villager right here. He's got a bed in his room, but I'm gonna block him in so he can't get out. There's a villager here with a bed. My bed. Thanks, bruh. They're the only villagers left here, I think.
Dang. Talk about dying out. Guess it's lucky that we caught them like we did. But it looks like one of those villagers have like classes already. Is that okay?
Yeah, as long as we don't trade with them, they won't be locked into their thing. We need a bed for you. I don't want to take the bed from the two villagers that I blocked in just because they need their beds to sleep in or they'll die. Need to kill some. Give me your string, putty cat. Oh, if you gave me him, you're not. No, come back here. Come back here, you stupid cat. Why can't you understand? I'm trying to use you.
If only people can just sleep together.
I know, right? I only need a little bit more string, and then I can make you a bed, though.
You can make a bed out of string?
Yeah, so you can take string and turn it into blocks of wool, and then make a bed. There's a spider over here. Come here, Mr. Spider. Where'd you go? I just saw you over here. Where did you go? Oh.
He's over there on the other side.
And I didn't get any string from that whatsoever.
If only you could deconstruct things, like take a bow and just deconstruct it.
Right? Well, I was murdering the cats in the village, because cats give you string when they die, but...
There's another spider over here.
Good, murder it and take its string.
Got it. Got string.
Oh, we need more than one. I can't remember how many it takes to make a wool block, but... I need 3 more pieces of string. Watch out behind you. By the time we collect it all, it might be, daytime.
That's gonna suck. Is it late?
Alright, screw it. Come here, baby.
Oh dang, it's
Ow.
late.
Is it late? What time is it?
It's 9:16
Oh, dang.
already. We've already been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
This iron golem over here is slaughtering some zombies.
That's good.
Come here, baby. Let's just go in here. Alright, go. You, sir, are not allowed to leave. No. Move out of the way. Don't hurt me.
Where do we go through?
Excuse me.
Sorry, babe. And it's in the boat.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Do I do the same thing with the other one?
Yep, just put it in front of the door right after you beat the blocks down. You can do it with either one of them over there, it don't matter. Boop, boop, boop.
Come on through, sir. Sir? Don't you want to come through? Come on. But there's a lovely lady over there that wants your number. Oh, babe!
What? I didn't do anything. He's in your boat, isn't he?
Oh my god. You didn't have to hit him. That ruins our relationship with these people.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't. We haven't built a relationship with them yet.
Yes, but it ruins it.
No, it doesn't.
It ruins it.
No, it doesn't. Ow, my elbow.
We'll never be able to come back from this. I'm sorry,
Oh,
sir. My woman is very off the chain. Huh. But don't worry, you and your future wife are going to be spending a lot of happy times here together.
I love how you say future wife. These guys are, gender fluid.
Your future significant other.
They're like the noble clownfish. When the female in the pack or relationship, whatever you want to call it, dies, the male can turn itself female in order to take care of the babies and increase the populace.
Mm-hmm. But, counterpoint, I guess not counterpoint, additional point, same thing with frogs, how frogs can just kind of change their gender whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's probably more accurate to what these things are.
Okay, now there is a box that I built that has some water coming out of it in like a little waterfall fashion. We have to row the boats up in there, and then I have to block it off so the boats don't slide out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to get rid of the water.
This thing right here?
Yeah. Oh. Beep. Beep. I can't back up and do it. Damn it.
Yeah, baby.
Turned around and went right back out. No, I know. Alright. Alright, you guys can just, chillax in your boats where you'll stay for a while, and I will breed the next time we're here. You gotta come up and out, baby.
Alright.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys just, you be good little villagers and stay right where I put you.
Today was a very productive episode of Nakoto and Nikita and our amazing adventures in the Minecraft world.
Sure.
Well, you don't think it was productive?
Meh.
Thanks. Okay. I guess we're not productive, I guess. She donated a lot of work, and I got a lot of cobblestone. The cobblestone that you asked for. I thought it was very productive. And not only that, but I
Baby,
was
I'm
able to talk
just
a lot.
teasing. Calm down.
No, you
Where'd you
obviously don't think
go?
I'm productive. I'm swimming back.
Why? I just constructed a boat.
I have the dolphins. The dolphins are my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. You see, in the time that it took you to get here by boat, I got here faster.
I constructed a boat and then stopped and looked around for you. And when I didn't find you, I asked. And then I got on the boat. Poke.
Poke? How dare you? Alright, well, thank you guys for coming to the stream, if you did come to the stream. I know I talked a lot during this stream. And it was mainly just because I wanted to talk more about topics. Honestly, I've been thinking about... Because I know, going to individual... Like, streaming for individual games is just... it's very low viewing. While the highest grossing thing is on Twitch is the just chatting. So I thought maybe, trying to do a more topic-based episode where we talked about a topic would probably be a lot more interesting, and therefore maybe at some point we can make it to where we can just set everything as just chatting while also playing games. Hopefully this will also make it to where Babe can talk with us on more topics.
We'll see.
I hope so, because talking to by myself is sad.
Whatever.
What?
Alright, I'm gonna leave the party and turn my Xbox off, baby. I'll talk to you when you call me. I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Alright. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up going on VR. Yep, hopefully everyone has a good day for whenever you watch this, or if you ever watch this. Hopefully you actually find everything I said interesting. I would like feedback. If you guys could comment on the video at least while it's up on Twitch, or maybe talk into the chat or anything, and after viewing this, and tell me whether or not it was a good idea or whatever. I know a lot of people haven't been joining the streams lately. I know it's because a lot of people are busy lately with school and, friends and family and everything like that. And I completely understand that. We're slowly growing. And, I can't expect past viewers to come to every stream. And that's fine. I completely understand. But yes, I will see you all in the next one, in the next episode of Minecraft, or Friday. I will see you Friday. Yay. Have a good one. Be sure to stay tuned. Next week is a 4-day weekend for me. I will be streaming a whole fuck ton, at least in the end of the week, for Friday and Sunday, because I will be off Friday for Veterans Day, Family Day. So yeah, please make sure to come watch it then. Alright, have a good one. Bye-bye!